I'm loving the soundtrack, bro. Hey, everybody. It is 11:30 plus on Sunday morning. So you know what time it is. It's time for the Fighter Share Report live, baby. All right, my name is Brew. This is the Badger. What's going on, bro?
Trying to adjust my hat. It's fitting a little funny this morning. But listen, outside of that, bro, I am extremely excited to be here in therapy with you this morning. We got a lot to talk about, and my hat is really annoying me right now. But yeah, bro, great night of fights, man. Everybody showed up and showed out. We got a lot to discuss. But more importantly, man, how was your weekend? As I try to adjust my hat.
My weekend was great. It was, as you say, very interesting. But it was great. It reminded me of why I'm so thankful to be alive. So it's been a great weekend.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that.
So the hat was fine, bro. I think it's
No, we good now. I got it where I want it now. It was a little tough at first. I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like, I'm having to turn my head and stuff, but no, we good though.
you look like the perfect race car driver, either commentator
On the
or
pit.
on the pit crew. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. We need four tires. Bring them in right now.
Or it
Four
looks like,
tires, change oil, little gas in there. We good.
listen, either that or we're doing an interview after the Bass Pro Masters.
Hey, I'm here for that too.
So
There's a lot of money in that stuff, man.
it is, it is, and I wish I could eat the winnings because those fish
Hey,
look good when they pull them out of the
well,
water.
they be pretty, don't they?
They, oh
Man,
my goodness, all I could see is some grilled onions, peppers, and bread.
I'm
That's
trying to tell you.
hot sauce, mustard on the. Let me stop. I haven't had
Yeah,
breakfast yet.
hot
So
sauce, mustard. Well, you know how to do it, don't you?
listen, I didn't get fat. I was fat before I got married. So, oh, I got my number one fight fan with me. So,
That's right.
if y'all are asking, you know, this is the little lady. All right, so we in it now. Canelo versus Smith recap, bruh. Total domination. If it had been a knockout, I could have gone with total annihilation. But
Right,
there are levels to this, as we keep saying, and it's clearly that Smith isn't even on the level right below Canelo.
right, right. So, listen, man. I watched the fight last night. There's going to be a common theme we're going to use in today's show, and we're going to call it real estate. Because we know, just like in the real world, they don't make new land, right? So if you can get a piece of it and own it, you always have wealth. That's what happened last night in a lot of fights. But we're gonna start off with this one since you brought it up. Canelo owned the real estate, bro. From the very beginning, I knew what this fight was gonna be once the opening bell started, and I saw Canelo walking forward and outlanding a man that was 7 to 8 inches taller than him. You look at Canelo's foot placement, bro. He dictated everything off the jab. You know, we want to give Callum Smith credit for being a good fighter because he is. But there are levels to being good and levels to being great. Canelo was great. Callum Smith is just good, and we saw the difference last night. Callum Smith's movements were predictable. He didn't have any wiggle to him. He was very robotic, very stiff. He backed straight up in straight lines all night. He threw the same 2 to 3 punch combinations all night. This was basically a massacre waiting to happen. And Canelo showed that he is surgical and that he is the best fighter on the planet. And we give Callum Smith credit for being tough, a little bit tougher than his brother, who Canelo stopped about 3 years ago. But other than that, bro, this was total domination. Great matchmaking by Canelo's team. Great game plan by Eddie Reynoso and Canelo. And hey, until he fights some of those guys we've been talking about, this is what every other fight is going to continue to look like.
And you now cannot really debate that he is the best fighter on the planet. I mean, he right now reclaimed my number one pound for pound. Just by the way, like you said, he just orchestrated that complete beatdown. I looked at the scorecards. He won every round,
Yeah,
120 to 108,
yeah.
and took two belts home.
Let me get them both
Oh,
of them. Both of them.
oh, both of them. That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, while before we move off this subject, let's kind of go through the whole card. We had Austin Williams defeating Isaiah Jones by first round TKO in the opening bout. And then I tell you, Raymond Ford impressed everyone, defeating
From New
Juan
Jersey.
Antonio Lopez. Yeah, from New Jersey. New Jersey just putting him out there right now, bro.
Listen, they putting him out there, man. Shout out to the Garden State, I guess.
He
Stand
defeated
up
him
legend.
by seventh round TKO.
Yeah.
Um, and
You
then
know
we
what?
go ahead,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My
go
bad.
ahead.
No, I was just going to talk briefly about Emma Williams. People don't really know who this kid is. Emma Williams was a sparring partner for Jamel Charlo, getting him ready for Erickson Lubin. Emma Williams is also the kid that went viral for all the wrong reasons. If you remember a few months back, I think right around when the quarantine first hit, maybe it was before, I don't remember. Emma Williams is the kid that put out the video that sparring match where he's basically decapitating a dude, and other fighters were calling him out saying, "Hey, this is Bush League. You don't do that. Sparring stays in the gym." Little backstory to that was that the dude came into the gym, into Emma Williams' home gym, challenging him. So that's where he said the beatdown, the recording took place. He said if it was just a regular sparring session, yeah, it wouldn't have got out of hand and it would have never made it to social media. But when you come into my home, into my gym, and you challenge me, oh yeah, whatever happens after you get in the ring is fair game,
Yeah,
and I'm completely okay with that.
yeah. So yeah, we wow, yeah, that was that was a complete knockout. I mean, on that one. And Frank Sanchez defeated Julian Fernandez via seventh round TKO. So we had three straight take. Oh, four straight because I forgot. Mark Castro defeated Luis Javier Valdez in the third round, and that was
Listen, watch out for Frank Sanchez. He's a rising heavyweight prospect. I got the privilege of being with the brother up close and personal last October 2019 when Lubin fought in Pennsylvania. Frank was on the undercard of that fight. He was still with PBC. The guy has that Cuban pedigree, he can box, and we saw it last night.
And then we get right into Friday night's fight. Triple G versus Sarameta. Something like that.
Yeah,
Recap. Listen,
Sharameta.
I gotta be honest. I've been giving Triple G a real hard time. Deservedly so. But he looked a beat slower, but he's 38, bro. But his power is still there. You're knocking people down with jabs. I don't know if this was as much of a cupcake as I've seen on some social media podcasts since then. Um, they say his opponent was legit, and when you look at his record, he looked pretty legit. But again, he wasn't in Triple G's league, and it was a tune-up fight. I did hear Demetrius Andrade make the statement afterwards. He needs to fight a real opponent before he gets a title shot or he gets a shot at Canelo again. He shouldn't even count this as his 21st title defense.
I mean, that's what he's supposed to say. I mean, when you can't get a fight with either guy in your division, when you can't fight Triple G or Canelo, then what do you have left to do? I mean, Boo
Insult
Boo,
him.
yeah, Boo Boo can't do much other than run down the street naked, and that'll probably get him a misdemeanor. Listen, he's doing whatever he
But he'll
can to
fight
build
in
support
jail.
for these fights. But I tell you what, man, he needs to take care of business and be ready for Billy Joe Saunders because that's the fight he's probably going to get. Now, Billy Joe's probably going to campaign for Canelo, but I think that those two need to settle that score first, and the winner gets Canelo.
I don't agree.
But back to
I don't agree. I
back
think they do that. They put the two deserving candidates for title shots in the ring to knock each other off so they don't have to fight both of them, just one. I think that's a chicken move. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so back to this BS topic that you put up here. Listen, man, you need to continue to give Triple G a hard time. He does not get a pass for this fight, bro. Yes, shout out to everybody born in 1982. That includes Triple G. I think Triple G is, for what it's worth, he's had a very good career. Is he an all-time great? Of course not. He didn't beat the all-time greats, but he was a very good fighter. This kid, Shermeta, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, didn't even belong in the ring with Triple G. This kid couldn't bust a grape at a fruit fight. He ain't gonna throw rice at a Chinese wedding. This was terrible.
Wow.
I mean, he got starched from beginning to end. Only thing I learned about Shemetta after this fight was that he's reasonably tough. He had to save him from himself, and it wasn't even his corner, it was the ref. This kid was getting pounded. I mean, I'm glad the ref stepped in and stopped the fight because we don't know how this kid would have woke up the next morning or what would have
If
subsequently happened, right? Or what would have subsequently happened after a fight. That's how bad this was. I am not giving Gennady, Goliath, or whatever his 3G stand for, any credit for this fight. This
Goliath.
kid, this kid, yeah, Godiva Chocolate, whatever his name is. Listen, this
Oh,
kid did not deserve to be in the ring with this. Triple G gets nothing from me about this win. Canelo was gracious last night in his post-fight interview where he said, "Oh, well, kind of like, well, if they want to make the fight happen, then we can make it happen." No, that's another easy payday for Canelo, and that's another 6 to 9 months we got to wait for Canelo to get past this guy to fight somebody who's going to really push him. Triple G, as good as he is an older fighter. You saw it last night. He looked slower. Look at what we saw Canelo do to a game 168-pound fighter. Granted, he fought like he was 5'2", but that's not the point. The athleticism and the skill set is the divide is getting wider as Triple G gets older. I don't want to see that fight. I hope it doesn't happen.
here's a funny thing. Canelo's been fighting pro since he was like what, 15?
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like him and Triple G should be the same age. Not even close. Canelo's what, 30, 31?
30.
30. Okay, Triple G's 38. Canelo is still in his prime. He's got
Prime.
his power, his speed, and all that experience.
Yeah.
He would, I still say at this point, he would literally wash Triple G. I don't even want to see that fight. I want to see Canelo fight one of these young, hungry guys, Charlo, Saunders, Andre, and then let Triple G fight one of those three as well. Well, let him fight Charlo. Give Triple G Jamal Charlo. And if he beats Jamal Charlo, give him Canelo.
Well, we know that fight ain't going to happen because Triple G ain't about taking risks like that. At this point, make as much money as you can, old man, and walk away. Because if we get in with some of the young bulls, it might see you to an early retirement. But let's give Triple G credit. I don't think anybody stops him.
I do. I think Charlo stops him. Meanwhile, the UFC had a big fight card last night. And I was impressed. I was impressed with it. I really was. Listen, let's pull out the notes. All right, so we're going to kind of run through this, see if we can get through all the main card. All right, we had Marcin Tybura defeated Greg Hardy by knockout.
Yes, sir.
Knockout in the second
And
round.
yeah, and if anybody was following us last week or earlier in this week, you would have heard me talking about how excited we both were about this card. It did not disappoint. We got some stoppages. We didn't get as many as we thought. We got some great performances. Starting with Marcin Tybura against Greg Hardy. Again, we're going to talk about real estate. Now, it doesn't really apply as much in this fight. We're going to talk about productivity. Greg Hardy had no productivity on his back. That's where the fight ended up. That's where it ended. Good win for Marcin Tybura. This is 4 in a row for him. That's why I give this guy some
Okay.
credit.
We got 4 more fights to do, bro. Rob Font defeated Marlon Moraes. I didn't see this coming. And got him by a first round TKO.
This is
I
another fight that I said I was excited to see. Rob Font, Puerto Rican background, fighting from Massachusetts. He can box, and it showed.
Yeah, and that's the big key. If you have a boxing pedigree and good takedown defense, you can be successful in the UFC. Then we had Michael Pereira defeated Chaos Williams.
Yeah, Michelle Perrier. Yeah, this was a fight I was looking
Michelle,
forward
sorry.
to. I thought Chaos had a decent showing of himself, but he let the fight slip away in that last round when Michelle attempted that guillotine from a standing position, and then he took him down to the ground and kind of controlled him there with some half guard stuff. I mean, I'm not mad at the decision. I thought Amo probably did enough, but when the fight's that close and somebody's able to steal the round the way he did in that third and final round, I can kind of see how he got the decision. But the
Yeah,
scorecard did seem kind of wide to me, though. They had him winning every round, didn't they?
no, 29-28 by all three judges.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent fight. I
Yeah.
wasn't mad at it. Look, Jose or Jose Aldo. I keep saying Jose, but it's really he pronounces it Jose Aldo. The King
Yeah,
of
his
Rio
name's
defeated Marlon Chico.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't see a lot of this fight. I was actually walking my dog at this time, but I was surprised to see that all the one because what little bit I thought I saw old boy getting the best of him early on, but I missed it, so I just saw the
well,
decision.
it was 29-28 by all three
Okay,
judges. So a few people questioned the decision. They thought it should have gone the other way, but the commentators seem to be all on board, so maybe
And
they knew it
Vera, if
ahead
I'm
of
not
time.
mistaken, Vera was the same guy that just stopped O'Malley, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, the injury stopped O'Malley, but yeah, Vera got the victory.
Mhm.
Anyway, haven't seen O'Malley since.
He's recovering. What we got next?
The main event, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson literally destroyed Jeff Neal with technique.
So this is what I was talking about when I started the show, and I said real estate. It's all about real estate, and if you got enough of it, you're king. Stephen Thompson commanded the real estate in the ring. He kept Jeff Neal completely off balance. Like we said, we talked about Canelo and Callum Smith. There's levels to this. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that this fight was as one-sided as it was. Jeff Neal had no answer for Wonder Boy's movement. And then, even so much so to Wonder Boy started pulling his hands. Jeff Neal didn't trust his eyes. He was getting hit with pop shots all night. Wonder Boy kept him off balance. Hey, let's give the old dogs some credit. Shout out to everybody born in 1982, man. Two 38 years old, two 38-year-old guys, Triple G and Stephen Thompson, both show their age is just a number. We gotta give them credit.
No,
Jeff
no,
Neal goes
no,
back to the drawing
no,
board.
no. Stephen Thompson showed age is just a number. Triple G showed put me in there with somebody who doesn't belong in there with me, and then I could do my work. But yeah, I was very impressed. Stephen Thompson was able to really work with any real estate he was given, and he did it by getting off first and early, and he made Jeff question himself at every turn, and it was just like there was no way back. I mean, even his corner kind of realized there's nothing we can really tell him because he's seeing certain things that are there and certain things that aren't. All right, man, your 2 minutes. Yeah, I said it.
Well, he put me on the spot, so I guess I got to freestyle this. And we're going to talk about the production and pageantry of these fights. Listen, matchmaking is important, but what's more important is the production behind these fights. You have to sell these fights. You have to make the common man believe these guys are world beaters and that they're pretty much unstoppable. And the stark difference is look at what Triple G did on Friday night. Look what Canelo did on Saturday night. Both guys fought guys that they clearly were better than. The difference is one guy had the proper production around his fight. The guy he was fighting was a champion. He had a reputation. Oh, and by the way, he looked like Andre the Giant compared to Canelo. Notwithstanding, now look at Triple G in his fight. He fought against a kid that not only didn't belong in the ring with him, but never really posed much of a threat from a physical standpoint. Said we want about Callum Smith fighting as if he was 5'2", but from a physical standpoint, Callum Smith was not he was never really beat down in the fight. What I mean by that is no, he got schooled, don't get me wrong. But even when Canelo hit him with his best shots, Callum Smith was still there. And even at the end of the fight, he kind of said, hey, he got some good shots. But what really made the difference between the fight with Canelo was he is so slick and he's cunning. The production that the zone put behind him, bro, was amazing. The camera angles they used showing this man and the height disparity, and then the way Canelo just walked him down, bro, the production made Canelo look a lot better. Not saying he's not the goods, but that was a real display of the production and how you sell a fighter. Triple G's performance was not nearly as exciting. Nobody gave a damn. And what's more important is that performance compared to Canelo's performance doesn't even add up. I don't think we get that third fight. I hope we don't. But again, it's all about the pageantry and production. The zone so they're willing to put a whole lot more behind Canelo than they are Triple G. So with that being said, man, hey, if you're trying to get a fighter up and coming, make sure the pageantry is right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. This man knows every Sunday and Wednesday we have this segment. Yeah, I said it. So nothing is really sprung on him. All right. So I want to really talk about the importance of protecting your fighter. Now, protecting your fighter does not always mean putting them in with cupcakes. Protecting your fighter does not always mean putting them in with somebody you know they could beat. But protecting your fighter is Eddie Reynoso. Protecting your fighter is making sure they're prepared to beat everybody they're in there with. They have the best game plan. They have the best training camp. They have the best promotional packages. They just have the elite that matches your talent. When you look at a Canelo fight, It never is a surprise. Even though this one came about at the last minute, it felt like it had been promoted for the last 2 3 months. It was the same as any other Canelo fight, just didn't have as many fans because of the pandemic. Canelo owes a lot to his trainer, to his crew around him. We know he's probably one of the most talented boxers we've seen in our lifetime. But how many of the most talented boxers have we seen in our lifetime never make it to this level? And if they get there, never stay at this level. They just fall by the wayside. It's because of the people they surround themselves with. Not everybody in Camelo's camp is perfect, but the people that he entrusts his future to have the same goals as he does. And for that, I give you a shout out, Suleiman Canelo Alvarez. All right, bro. Time to wrap it up. You did a pretty decent job today.
Man, this was a great show. It was a great night of fights, and I don't want to take anything away from what we saw last night, man. That UFC card was pretty dope. I do have some concerns about some of the guys that I saw in there, but listen, experience most times wins out, especially when guys are still able to kind of do the things they want to do physically in the ring. But yeah, that Wonder Boy fight just kind of, it got worse the longer it got, and I was just kind of like, dang, man. But Jeff will be back. Jeff will be back. And listen, Wonder Boy and Wonder Boy, man, that 170-pound division is interesting. He's ranked number 5 for a reason. I don't know if he can beat them guys ahead of him, but it won't be an easy now. I can tell you that.
I think, how do you put that, on any given Sunday? I think Wonder Boy can give them a challenge, and if they're not at the top of their game, I think he can pull an upset because he just has that skill set. He may not have all the power, which he doesn't,
Right.
but he has that skill set. The only one that I don't think he'll beat is Izzy.
Listen, well, they're in two different weight classes, but
Oh, that's right.
notwithstanding, bro, Wonder Boy is a karate guy. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
Go ahead and do your shout
yeah.
outs.
All right. Yeah, he's ready for the street. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, to the surgeons. They brought her through safely, and the care that she got at Tampa General Hospital was top notch. Shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, mom. Shout out to Pops, my sisters, my brothers. I'm turning it over to my brother here.
Hey man, listen, hey, happy birthday, moms. Another trip around the sun is very important, and we happy to have you. Hey man, good thing Pooh came out all right, man. We prayers are answered. Hey, we ain't got much. We'll see y'all tomorrow on our Let's Refine show. We'll see y'all then. Make sure it's 11 o'clock Monday. Peace.